want to send our condolences to the family and friends of Chuck Sullivan, Assistant Commissioner of Communications for our conference office, just recently passed. He's at Media Day this summer. Got a chance to see him. Had no idea the fight he was in, and just our hearts are for that family and people that are around him daily. And so we want to start with that. A great opportunity this week to go on the road. Tough environment, be a challenging road trip. Really good football team in Temple. I think probably the most improved team in our conference, to be quite honest with you. I mean, they look like a completely different team, and it shows in every phase. They're well coached. They got good players. They're really disciplined. They play with great detail. A lot of respect for how they're playing. I think Casey Keeler, the head coach, does a phenomenal job. He's hired a great staff. You can tell that there's a vision, maybe and an alignment within the university there to get football where they want it to be, and they've hired a really good football coach, and they're getting there quick. So really impressed with what they're doing. We got to go on the road and play good, and we've got a lot of work to do to get ready to play this game, and got to continue to grow. This late in the year, you got to keep getting better. And we have not arrived. We have not, quite honestly, played our best yet, and we got to continue to strive for that. So with that, we'll open it up.
I know Temple is 5-5, but to your point, I don't know if they have a bad loss this season. What has maybe impressed you the most about how quickly they've been able to improve?
Yeah, I think they're just in every game. They do a good job of, I think, identifying a formula to be competitive in every game in regards to the matchup. I think one thing that's unique in this league is you have to play Navy or Army, and that's a different style of football. Well, they lost both those games very, very closely, and those are two tremendous challenges to get ready for in our league just because it's schematically so different, and the play style is different in regards to the amount of possessions you're going to get and those sort of things. They've been in every game. They've had an opportunity to compete and win in every game, and I thought they played Georgia Tech really good. Like when you go back and watch that tape, I think Georgia Tech's only got one loss in the year, and that was a hard-fought game. And so their players play hard. They're well coached. They give themselves a chance all the time. They don't beat themselves. They're one of the top teams in the country in the turnover margin. They've protected the football. They've got 2 turnovers all year in 10 games. It's unheard of. I mean, 2. They got 1 fumble and 1 interception. I don't know if I've ever seen that through 10 games.
Your football team entered the top 25 for the AP and the coaches poll. You just talked about it, that your team hasn't played its best football yet, but at 8-2 with some of the impressive wins that you have, do you feel like your team is one of the top 25 teams in the country currently?
I don't know. I hadn't watched that many other people play. I watch us play, and I watch whoever get ready to play. And then after that, I don't really know who else is out there. I mean, I'll just be very candid. There's some days I feel like we're one of the bottom 25 teams in the country watching us play. So, if we want to start feeling comfortable or casual about somebody wanting to vote us in the top 25 teams, there must be a lot of bad football going on if we're one of the top 25 teams. So, I mean, there must be some really bad football played right now in college football. So, I don't know. We're average. We're an average team. We get every 6 or 7 days, depending on the schedule of the week, to promote ourselves or embarrass ourselves. We've done that before, so we better get ready to play. I think I watched this practice today. I think we're average.
And to that point, the tiebreakers in there. I know you're tired of hearing about tiebreakers. I know.
Hey,
I know.
Look, computers, tiebreakers win a damn game. I don't have time to figure out. I've been asked the models and the computer models. I'm like, I don't know how to turn on a freaking computer. Like when I want to watch film, I'm like, I can watch film, and if somebody sends me like an email, I'm like, no, don't do that. Just don't do it. And so I can watch film on a computer. That's about all I can do on a computer, really. It's really all I want to do. And tiebreakers, don't know them, don't care about them. I will care at the end. Like if we keep winning, yeah, I'll look at the end. And maybe they want you to win pretty, and if we can, we'll win pretty if we have the opportunities to. But you know, like the way to win pretty is just win. Find a way to win. We're not built in a manner to like like I just told you, we don't look pretty, but we have to find a way to win each week. That's the goal. And so tiebreakers, I don't know. I think the CFP has something to do with it, my understanding. So if you keep winning, I don't know if they'll rank us or not. I may, get all the people in the CFP's phone numbers and just harass them if we get to the end of this and need their help.
Hey, Coach, you talked about them being the most improved team. Can you point to exactly why is that? Maybe it's a position group, or what makes them the most improved team so far?
I just think, Casey is an established coach. He's been doing it a long time. He's won a lot of football games. And you can tell he understands how to hire a great staff. You can tell he sets a really good vision for that staff and the program, the culture of the team. And they've created a belief in, like, they have a plan of how they want to attack each game to give themselves an opportunity to win the game. And that's the biggest thing. And they've had a ton of roster turnover, just like we all have, I think, in this league. And I really have a lot of respect for. They seem to do things the right way. I tell our team all the time, like, there's no. It takes what it takes to be successful. There's not like 8 different ways. There's the right way and there's the wrong way. They, from a distance, watching them, seem to do things the right way. They seem to be disciplined and detailed and tough and physical, and they do their job well, and they play hard for each other, care about each other. It looks like I just really think that they've established really quickly what I think is a winning culture from a mindset and how they carry themselves.
And last year, you only held them to 6 points. What does it look like to repeat that performance? I mean, or even a shutout.
Yeah, they're a different outfit. Like they're schematically, it's not even remotely the same. Like when you watch last year's tape and then you watch this year's film, I'm like, okay, well, they're not even doing similar things. They're very different. I think they're very well coached offensively. At times, I feel like I'm watching ourselves a little bit. They got good players. They got good scheme. They protect the football. They execute well. We have to be really, really good at doing our job well and leveraging the football and playing with good vision, because they give you a lot of shifts and motions and swappers, and so you just got to have clean eyes and keep your eyes where they're supposed to be. Last week, much different challenge. Last week was how fast can you get lined up, and it was real clean pictures. This week, not always about how fast. Sometimes it is, but more about getting your cleats and your eyes set and make sure you don't get lost in the sauce of a shift or a motion or something that they're trying to get you to lose your eyes.
I know you don't have a lot of time to really reflect during the season, but has there been a time maybe on the sidelines or you've been watching your offense operate being like, man, I can't believe Jake Retzloff showed up 3 weeks, a month before the season and has been able to operate this offense the way that he has?
It's been a number of times I've thought in the game, like, man, the guy's only been here for a couple months. Yeah, it's been impressive. He's got a moxie about him, a confidence, a swagger about him. He loves football. He's up here all the time. Like, he's up here constantly watching tape. I think he does a great job critiquing himself. I think to be a player that wants to continually get better and grow, you have to be hard on yourself without being in the mindset of negativity. But you got to always push to be your best. I think he's done a really good job of that, and very impressive what he's done.
Back to Temple for a moment, if you don't mind. That quarterback, Simon, very efficient, extremely efficient. And he's got 4 receivers who have 26 or more catches, including this guy, the tight end, who's like 6'6".
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about these guys? They're scary.
Yeah, the tight end's got a great catch radius. He's a big human, long arms, catches the ball over the place. Receivers are good. One of the receivers, 17, is also their punt returner. He's probably the best punt returner we've played all year. And the quarterback makes good decisions with where to go with the football. I think it's 22 touchdowns and 1 interception on the year, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Pretty good numbers. Like, I don't know the QBR and all that stuff on that, but like 22 touchdowns and 1 pick, I think was probably lead the country in quarterback or in interception to touchdown ratio right now, if I had to guess.
The Temple D does tend to give up more rushing yards. Does that turn over in your head, or?
I mean, you look at the stats, but you got to also acknowledge they played Army and Navy, right? Who are probably first and second in the country in rushing yards, or first and third, I think. So when you play two teams that run it like 50 times a game, that's going to skew your stats. You know, like I think sometimes the stats of a run defense can really get jacked up when you play two option teams in one season, especially 2 in 10 games. You know, that's 20% of their schedule. They've played option teams. So I think it may throw some of that off a little, because I see a team that does some things run defense wise with some front mechanics that can give you issues.
Any team that plays FAU is going to give up a ton of yards. That's just the reality of it. Did you feel like your defense took a step forward in that game, or not? There were a lot of big plays made when they needed to. Only 10 points through 3 quarters.
Yeah, at times I thought there were some positives, and at times I thought there were some negatives. I thought, you know, at the end of the day, the most important stat, like we're talking about stats, is scoring defense, not total defense. And so, you know, in that game, they had a turnover issue coming into the game, so we kind of heightened that. You also know going into the game, those offenses sometimes move the ball between the 20s really fairly easily, and then you get in the red area, you got to get some stops, which we got a couple. And so that's the red area in those games is huge. You know, I thought our run defense in the first half, I think they had 13 carries for 9 yards. And once we were in a 3-score lead, we played a lot more dime to just try to, like, hey, if you want to hand the ball off and run it for 5 yards every time for the rest of the game, we feel pretty good about the clock situation with the points needed. So I thought there's some things that were done well. I thought you saw a few individuals, I thought, step up. Isaiah Wadsworth, really cool to see him step up and make a play. You asked me a question about him and KC last week, and it's pretty fitting that, you know, about, hey, transferred here and don't really – maybe didn't look like the guys that transferred here last year in regards to his production to this point. And then there he goes, get thrust into action and makes a big play. And so I thought there were some good things. I thought there was a lot to clean up and still improve upon.
And then the other thing, are you planning on keeping a similar routine to what you did at Memphis on the road?
Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to do something similar. I'm waiting to get some confirmation on access to stuff. But, yeah, we'll do something similar. We may have to go over to the Saints to practice on Friday morning potentially before we leave because of weather. It's like 60% chance of thunderstorms right now Friday morning. So my part-time job, if any of y'all stations is looking, I'm an untrained meteorologist. So I look at the weather all the time. But yeah, so we may do the stadium visit again just to kind of let the guys have an acclimatization to where we're going to be.
Untrained meteorologist, okay. So do you want the morning shift? Do you want the evenings? Like, what are you thinking here?
I think mornings are usually easier in South Louisiana. Afternoons, you got a lot more pop-up thunderstorms.
Okay, there we go. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I look at the weather plenty, trust me.
You talked about that you guys are, quote-unquote, an average team in your eyes. You're 8-2. Tonight there's a real chance that, you know, you hear your name in the CFP top 25, but you're still saying you're an average team. Do you think that standard that you have for yourself and for this program has helped y'all, you know, achieve the success that you have this season?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I just think as soon as you start to feel good about where you are or who you are or what you're doing is really like, you know, pride comes before the fall, right? And so as soon as you start to, like, pat yourself on the back and feel real comfortable is when you're getting ready to, like, get just absolutely crushed. I don't care if you're talking about football or life or whatever, like, just don't be prideful. And so for me, our team continued to have humility, all right, and put the work in and play with a chip on our shoulder and an edge about us that, man, like, you have to – this game you have to play with passion and with edge. And when I've seen us do that, we're a better team. When I've seen us not do that, we're a really bad team. And so – I think that's the biggest thing is just the ranking tonight, Sunday with the AP, the coach, whatever, none of that matters. Like, it just doesn't matter right now. We got 2 regular season games left. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the year when the last game is played, wherever you rank, that matters. But nobody puts up a banner for a team that was ranked in week 13 in college football. And quite honestly, too, go look at the last 3 weeks, the team that's been ranked in our league, what's happened. Okay? Hadn't gone good for them. Navy got ranked, went to North Texas, lost. Memphis got ranked, played us, lost. South Florida got ranked last week, went to Navy, lost. What's Tulane going to do? We going to freaking lose? I don't know. We better be ready to play because we're playing a really good team.
Offensively, feels like you have a lot of different guys who can, really hurt you. I mean, and there's not just like, one number one guy. Like, it feels like there's a lot of distribution throughout the offense. How much do you think that has contributed to, the success on that side of the ball?
Yeah, it's been fun, to see the number of guys catch passes in games from Jake and from Brendan when he's been in, but Jake predominantly, obviously, has been cool. You've seen so many different people step up. I mean, obviously, Bryce Bohannon last week had the big fourth down touchdown catch. You saw Trey Shackelford against East Carolina have some big catches. You saw Shaz Preston against Memphis kind of step up and have some catches. Last week, the tight ends were more involved. I like the fact that there's a lot of guys in the flow of the game creating production. I think it's good for morale and it keeps guys dialed in. I think it's also, from a defensive perspective, there's not just one guy you're like, all right, let's just take that guy off the board and we're in good shape. You still have to deal with some other people that can go make a play. So I like what the group's done. I mean, CJ's had the big touchdown against East Carolina too. ABS has had some great games, So I just think I'm probably even missing like Garrett Mamahat. He's back now, fired up about his return. Garrett has one game back. I guess it was maybe Army. Or maybe the week before that, East Carolina. It was East Carolina, yeah. Had a couple plays in that game. And so just the depth of the offensive playmaking group is fun to see. Different running backs stepping up. It's exciting. All right. Thank you all. Roll wave.